2026 to order. First item is the agenda. Patrick?
Yes, Mr. Chair, staff would propose moving item 8A to consent number 5E.
That is the State Fair parking discussion.
That is correct, and there would be no further changes from staff.
All right. Board have anything?
No.
Hearing none, I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll move to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Item 3 is approval of payment of bills. You signed, Steve?
I did move to approve payment of the bills.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, item 4 is approval of the meeting minutes. This is from July 20th. Anybody have any changes?
Yes, Mr. Chair, on page 5 of the meeting minutes, the person that came to speak to us, I believe her name was Erica Schmidt, not Eric, from Connexus.
Is that it?
I think that was it on that particular one. And then on page 9 of the minutes, get there. It says change parchment to purchase in the last paragraph.
Okay.
That takes care of my corrections.
All you got?
That's it. So
Yes.
Yeah,
Danny?
I had the same one, so we're good.
All right, I need a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll move to approve the minutes as amended.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, item 5 is a consent agenda item. We now have 5. Does the board want to pull any of these?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to pull B and C.
All right, Beth?
I have no,
All right,
Go ahead.
then I need a motion to approve consent agenda items 5A, D, and E.
So moved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, item 5B is a right-of-way permit for the birch tree care.
The issue that I have, it's really, again, these are minor little issues for the most part. But the application as in there, it has the same address, but Badness Heights versus White Bear Township. And I believe that is a White Bear Township address. So the contact person was Lori Moen, and the address where the work was going to be done was 4115 Oakmead Lane, Badness Heights. I think that we should just make it note in the meeting minutes that it's really same address, except it's White Bear Township versus Badness Heights.
Correct.
Okay. So that's one of them.
All right, is that it on that?
On
part
that
of it?
particular one.
All right, then I need a motion to approve item 5B.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The next one has to do with 5C, and maybe I just need a clarification on that. It's a large document. It has to do for the Public Works project. On the page 41 of the document, if we can get to that. Anyway, it says that the owner is Ed Perdon, and I don't think you own that.
No,
Or the
Come on.
contract. Come on. So I think that document needs, unless it was corrected someplace I didn't see, but I think it needs to be changed to White Bear Township, signed as by a town chair.
correct.
So,
Was that on the architect's end?
yes, on the architect's big, long document. So anyway, it was page 41 of this big, long document. So if you just clarify that, I'd move to approve that consent agenda item with that change.
No, second.
All right, motion's made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on. We have item 6. This is old business, 5443 Ridgeway Avenue. Patrick, you gonna take this?
Well, this is the second half of a lengthy discussion at the Utility Commission regarding a frozen water main at 5443 Ridgeway. The owner of the property is taking on the cost of the first half, which was the immediate response to the water main being burst in December, and the township will take on the responsibility and cost associated
You might want to speak up a little there.
with repair. The township will take that responsibility. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
And with the mic.
Yep, you're right. It's getting too comfortable.
All right, questions from the board?
I have none. We've discussed this in the past, so I'm.
We've
fine.
beat this one up pretty.
Yes.
I'd go with ad nauseum on this one.
Like I said, back to my only concern with this is, Chad, you can maybe tell me this, but we are setting a little bit of a precedence replacing a curb stop, which does not belong to us. It belongs to the property owner.
Well, that's correct. I mean, under the ordinance, the property owner's ownership of the pipe begins at the stop dock on the main line. So we are somewhat of a precedent, but again, this was a unique situation, and the facts are unique. I think I don't see this as creating a precedent that's going to cause huge problems in the future.
Mr. Chair, I'd also like to point out, since this took place, we have put an insert in our utility billings that explain that situation so that it's clear to all residents that receive township billings that it's their responsibility going forward. So we did what we could to
Nice.
clarify that.
And I think Public Works is also coming up with a protocol because there were some loose issues and I think we could tighten them up.
Okay, as long as the town attorney is comfortable with that, we're not going to be stepping in it by doing this, so. All right, any other
Given the unique
discussion?
situation, I'm comfortable.
Okay. All right, hearing nothing further, I need a motion for approval of the recommendation.
The proposal from Fox Excavating, is that what we're looking for?
Yep.
I'll make the motion to approve the proposal from Fox Excavating for the property at 5443 Ridgeway in the township.
Second?
I'll second that.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, moving on. Public hearings, we have a couple of them. The first one tonight is 5500 Township Drive. I need a motion to waive the reading.
I'll move to waive the reading that it was properly published in the White Bear Press.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, that motion carries, and I need a motion to open up the public hearing.
I'll move to open up the public hearing
I'll
for
second.
5500 Township Drive.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mike, are you going to run this?
I am. Mr. Chair and the members of the board, before you tonight, for consideration is a resolution ordering the abatement of a nuisance condition at 5500 Township Drive. In your packet, you'll find the resolution ordering the removal and lawful disposal of the entire rear wood deck and stairway on the property. The deck is in a hazardous condition. Second bullet point on the resolution, remove all overgrown trees and shrubs, negatively impacting the building's foundation. Next bullet point, repair and replace all deteriorated exterior siding and trim. Repair and replace all damaged, loose or missing soffit and fascia. Repair all broken glazing. Restore a HVA system and a fuel gas supply to the structure. Restore the water service to the building with the appropriate water meters. And upon completion of the repairs, the building shall remain unoccupied until such time the town can inspect the facility and approve the building for occupancy. The resolution requests the property owner to take action within 30 days of service of this resolution, if approved by the town board tonight. That would include obtaining, minimum obtaining all permits to do the repairs in a 30-day time frame. If an event, the property owner does not comply with the resolution, make all the required repairs, the town may abate the nuisance at the homeowner's expense. In your packet notice, you can see a notice on June 22nd, 26th, went to the property owner explaining the town's intended action. The town did determine this dwelling condemned unfit for human habitation, January 22nd of 22. The house has been abandoned since then. Following July 13th, 2026, written notice of the hearing this evening was sent to the property owner, explaining the procedures here at tonight's public hearing. I did get a response, an email response is also in your packet. I've had a couple of conversations with the owner over the last week. He has committed to making the improvements on the property, is what he has expressed to me over the phone. That's all I had. If you have any questions.
Steve?
The question, well, it goes way back to the actions speak louder than words. And we've heard from very little from this gentleman from, well, since we started action on this in 2020, 22, when we abandoned it. I'm not interested in hearing his words. I'm interested in the action. So from my perspective, enough is enough. We need to proceed and push the issue until he does actually come forward. That's my only question to you. Do you really believe this time it's going to be any different than any other time?
I expressed, again, through a couple of different conversations on the telephone, I expressed the seriousness of the situation. I don't feel he's grasped the seriousness of the situation, but he has stated to me that he is going to invest the money and make some significant improvements. He assured me today.
The property is
However, that's all talk.
the property is salvageable if work is done.
Certainly significant investment in the property. It's a valuable property.
'Cause in his email, he says he's got two contractors that were coming to meet with him. You have not heard from either of them, have you?
With today's conversation, this was sent last week, spoke with him today. These two contractors aren't around. There's another one that he's working.
Answered my questions.
Beth?
We're just gonna continue to pursue this, I'm assuming, because I find it shocking that somebody would let a house go. And it just seems insane to me.
Chad, can you run us through the legality of this, how it runs through the court?
Sure. If you adopt this resolution, we will have to serve the property owner the same way you serve a civil process personally. And if we can't find them, we have to publish it in the White Bear Press, wait 30 days. The owner then has 20 days from the date they receive the order to either comply, or if they don't, they can also always file, to comply. If they don't comply, then the next step would be to file the resolution with district court. At that, and notify the owner again it's been filed. At that point, the owner has 20 days in which to file an answer. And no matter what, whether they file an answer or it goes by default, the court will then set a period of time in which they can remediate the problems. And naturally, if they don't remediate the problems, the township can apply for an order demolishing the house.
Well,
The first step is you have to notify the owner of what has to be done, give him a reasonable period of time, which you've done, 30 days, to correct the problem. If he hasn't done so, then we file it with the court and start that process. And the court has the discretion to give the owner whatever time the court feels is reasonable to correct the problem.
So if I did my math, it could be 10 weeks before the actual construction season's going to be over by the time we actually force it.
Getting pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, that could be an issue.
Yeah, does he have to show anything like, he's got contact with a contractor, I mean, other than his word, is there anything else that
No, the statute doesn't really require that he show any kind of
Good faith.
moving
faith
forward?
moving
Okay.
forward. So it's interesting, in the last one, in Second Street, the court did order that the owner provide a status report 60 days in.
Okay.
So that can be done. Understand, the court has discretion to do this, to set rules that don't necessarily appear in the statute itself.
Okay.
Rules we can't require, conditions we can't require.
Well, obviously, property owners have rights, but this is taking it to an extreme. All right, any other questions of staff?
No.
All right, I need a motion to open up for public comment.
I'll move to open the hearing up for public comment.
I'll second.
Motion made and second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Is there anyone here that would wish to speak to this item? You got to step up to the podium. I need a name and an address.
This has been going on at
I
this
need a
house.
name and an address.
Oh, Denise Conway, 5514 Daisy Court. This house has been in disrepair since 2013. I've got a document right here that said at a meeting in 2014, this entire list that Mike just talked about, fixing this, fixing that, doing this, doing that, was sent to that guy in 2014. This 2020 stuff, that's not correct. This guy has done nothing. There's broken windows. There's children playing in this house, you guys. Kids are in there all the time. There's foxes living in the basement. How can you say that this house can one day be livable? It was flooded. It's got to be full of mold. Have you went in there? No?
Mr. Chair, I have not been.
And keep in mind that Mike doesn't have the right to simply go in the house. That-
Well, who does?
Hold on.
I was about to explain it to you. Okay. What has to be done is the court, this is the court, requires that we apply for administrative search warrant and at the same time give the owner the right to challenge the administrative search warrant. So that's the process of getting in there. So you have to understand, Mike just can't walk into a property.
Okay, but
He has
like
to
I
get
said,
permission or a search warrant.
12 years this has been going on. Ask any of my neighbors here. They'll tell you the same thing. I'm done.
All right, anyone else?
Hello, my name is Sherry Shotbet, and I reside at 5501 Fisher Street. My property boards, the property being discussed at 5500 Township Drive. I'm here to express strong support of the resolution ordering nuisance abatement. The home has been vacant and deteriorating for years, and the conditions are now clearly meeting the definition of a public nuisance. The structure remains unsecured, and the hazards are escalating. Recently, my father witnessed a group of children attempting to break into the property, and this is a serious safety concern, not only for the children involved, but for the entire neighborhood. The exterior conditions continue to worsen. A broken window is covered by only a couple boards, leaving the structure vulnerable to entry and weather damage. Wildlife has begun to inhabit the property, and I personally observed a fox living under the deck, and red squirrels are regularly entering and exiting through a hole in the siding. These are clear signs of structural failure and unmanaged pest activity. Multiple neighbors I've spoken to consider the property an eyesore and a longstanding source of frustration. The overgrowth, the visible decay, and the ongoing trespassing have created a persistent negative impact on the neighborhood's safety and appearance. And despite the property's condemned status, there has been no meaningful corrective action from the owner. The deterioration, lack of maintenance, and repeated nuisance conditions have left the neighbors carrying the burden of a property that poses real risk to public safety. A formal nuisance abatement order is necessary at this point. It provides a clear compliance path, establishes accountability, and ensures that corrective action will finally occur, whether by the owner if needed or if needed by the township. I respectfully ask the board to adopt the resolution and to include the following priorities: immediate securing of the structure to prevent further trespassing, proper boarding of broken windows and other entry points, removal of debris and overgrowth, pest and wildlife mitigation, a clear and enforceable compliance deadline. And if the structure is found beyond repair, movement towards demolition. The resolution, I feel, is an appropriate next step to protect the neighborhood and address a longstanding hazard. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Come on up. Name and address, please.
Kathy Miller, 1343 Jonquil Lane. I drive up and down Township all the time. This house is right across from the park for our little children. And there have been numerous people that have said this, and I've experienced it myself. Driving right past the house, and here comes 4 young boys, and they're parked right in front of this house, and they're walking up to the house. This is just a magnet in our neighborhood for trouble. And we told the kids, we said, you can peek in the windows, but be very careful. This is a dangerous place for you guys to play. That's about all we can do as neighbors. It's a problem, and it affects all of us in the Otter Hills Addition area because it's our property. I mean, this is an eyesore. People come through, they want to buy a house. Are you gonna buy a house next door to that? Or across the street, or even down the street? It affects all of us. It affects our property values. And we hope that you guys will do whatever you can to take care of this problem. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Kathy. All right, anyone else? Come on up.
My name is Sue Nelson. I live at 5506 Daisy Court. And I want to attest to the unsafeness of this situation. Last summer, I live across from the house on Eagle Park. And a group of young boys did break into the house through the garage and came in the house and opened up the front door. This was witnessed by another one of my neighbors. She was frightened to call the police, and I don't know why she was frightened, but I then proceeded to go over to the house, saw the open door, so I did call the sheriff, and the sheriff did respond. They came, they went into the house, they asked if I had gone into the house, and I said, no, I'm not going to go into a house that I don't know who's in there. So they did go into the house and check the house, and I know that they called the owner, and the owner's response, he came and he put a board in front of the open space on the garage door. And then the owner did shut the door and removed the hanging screen door. So I totally believe this is an unsafe house, and somebody is going to get hurt if this resolution and the abatement does not go forward. So thank you.
Anyone else? Come on up.
Hello, I'm Matthew Bailey. I live at 5490 Township Drive. I can attest the house has been unoccupied since January 2022. The next door neighbor. I have seen and asked some kids. It is a magnet for children, and I've had multiple instances this last year where I've had kids roaming the house, and I've politely encouraged them to please leave the property. It is not safe. I've also had instances When the house was vacated, they left all their trash on the back deck, which will blow into my yard, and I've picked that up multiple times. It's still there 4 years later. That deck is unsafe. I would not recommend anybody go on. And then one note for your recommended list of actions, there's a broken window, and I don't believe you think we should board or secure that window, but I don't believe it was noted in the actions.
Mr. Chair, it is in the resolution, the broken glazing.
Thank you.
Right, anyone else?
My name is Peter Klugel, 5475 Township Drive. And I've been familiar with this particular home for many years, and I would consider this thing as an attractive nuisance. We've got Eagle Park on the other side of the street, and we've got young kids up there. And the condition of the rear of the home is just structurally unsound. If they had water damage, I don't know to what extent there's mold, but I'm sure there's interior problems with that house. And yeah, it's been pretty much a nuisance ever since I've been there. Animals get in, and I don't know. It's kind of a blight on the neighborhood as far as I'm concerned. So that's about it.
All right, thanks, Peter. Anyone else? A question maybe for Mike. Within this 30 days, if he comes to you with a building permit, that will give you access to go into the building?
Again, Mr. Chair, I've open line of communication with him over the week. I expect to be able to access. Well, I won't be issuing any permits until I have access to the interior of the building.
Well, and then question for Chad. I know the house on West Bald Eagle, we went in and boarded up the windows. That was because of a fire, but is this something we can do now and just put it on his?
I would say, in terms of safety, emergency safety, you could board the house up to avoid the issues we were hearing about young children going in there. That you can do.
So we can actually secure it so no one can enter the building.
And secured, and you can also clean up the exterior, as a summary abatement.
Okay, but is that just after this resolution for tonight, or?
Well, you could do in terms of clearing. I think you could do both without the resolution. But here's why the resolution is important. Because until this resolution is adopted, if the house is again, understand, I haven't seen the house, so I can't make any comment on that. But if this is as bad as it sounds, you have to demolish the house, just please, you have to demolish the house, you have to get a court order. So abating, securing the property for for safety reasons, that you can do without this. Though it's a good idea to do this. I mean, it's a good idea to adopt the resolution, hold a public hearing.
Well, from what we're hearing, obviously, this is something we should probably step forward. And I know, I can't remember the name of the contractor who did it, but if that's something that Mike can coordinate and we can at least go and secure the house so the kids can't get in the thing?
I have, as a town attorney, I have no problem with that. I can support that.
Okay.
But again, demolishing the house, that's a separate.
No, I get it, but
No, but
for
we
now,
just-
we need to address some of the safety issues.
Step one, secure the house for safety purposes. Definitely go ahead and do that.
Because they're right, it is an attractive nuisance.
All right, Mike, you can check to see who we used. We must have a list of contractors.
Yes, the town's hired crews to board up buildings in the past.
All right.
Contractors available.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to this? Come on up. You got to come up. But we can't
You gotta
pick.
come up.
Yeah, we can't pick you up on the.
Okay.
Sorry.
You got people at home watching.
I have a couple of pictures on my phone if anybody would like to see.
Oh, trust me, I think we've all driven by it enough
Yes,
times.
You said you hadn't seen it, so
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, well, understand, I'm just the town attorney. I trust Mike and the board to deal with the physical inspections.
You can send those pictures to any one of us on the board.
So keep in mind, I do not doubt anything I'm hearing tonight, okay? I don't. Just that I haven't seen the house, that's all I'm saying.
And trust me, we're frustrated also. We had a house that I just talked about. It took us 5 years to get it down. So people have rights, and they'll run that court and they'll play that silly game till they're blue in the face, and it is very frustrating for us also.
You know, the town has had a history of trying to work with people, but at some time enough is enough. It just is a slow process, and once we get to the legal process, it even gets more slow. But we have to go that route at some point, and we're to the point where there's nothing left for us to do but proceed as best we can through the legal channels.
So as of tonight, this resolution will move forward, and we'll work with Mike to get somebody out there to at least see if we can get that thing up secured so the kids can't get in the building.
Just one second. From what I've seen was the front window, they put a board over it, which really is not secure at all. The front door is not secure. The garage door has a piece of plywood over one panel, and I have no idea on the back end if it's open or not open, but you could go with a contractor and figure out how to secure the home.
We're doing something about the deck, because it sounds like the deck was a mess too.
Most people wanted to speak over it. So.
I think they're here for Peterson Road, so
Oh, okay.
this is for Township Drive. Anyone else wish to speak about this for Township Drive? Going once, going twice. Right. I need a motion to close the public comment
I'll
portion.
move to close the public comment portion of this hearing.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. What is the board's pleasure?
I'll move to, first off, secure the premises for safety reasons, as we discussed. Let the building inspector, or building officer anyway, work with a contractor. That would be part of mine to secure the building, number one. Number two, I'd move to pass the resolution ordering abatement of the nuisance conditions at 5500 Township Drive.
That's with all the, okay, we got it. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion's made in second. All in favor?
Aye.
And then, Mike, you'll be working on that tomorrow right away?
I can, yes.
All right, perfect. All right. Thank you. Moving on. 7B, this is 5470 Peterson Road. Again, this is a public hearing, so I need a motion to waive the reading.
I'll move to waive the reading that it was properly published for a public hearing for 5470 Peterson Road.
Second.
Motion's made in second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, Mike, you want to give us a review on that one?
For the town board this evening, consider a resolution ordering the abatement of nuisance condition at 5470 Peterson Road. In the order for correction, is requesting the demolition and removal of the fire damaged single-family dwelling, including all structural components, foundation, accessory structures damaged by the fire, and all associated debris. Upon completion of the demolition, all foundation materials shall be removed unless approved by the town after inspection. Final item, upon completion of all required work, the property shall be left clean and safe in a sanitary condition. In the ordinance, similar to the previous one, the resolution ordering the correction action within 30 days is left blank on this resolution. And then again, in the event the owner fails to comply with the resolution, the town has the authority to abate that nuisance condition and recoup the cost from the property. In the packet, again, July 13th, written notice went out to the property owner, informing them of tonight's public hearing. Extensive list went out in that notification. A lot of the items on the original notice have been resolved. There's an inspection report in your packet. Inspection July 22nd. I met with the owner's representative on site. All the personal property and fire damage and junk cars were removed. All the interior personal property that was burned or water or smoke damage was removed from the property, and it is really basically just removal of the fire damage structure. In your packet there is an email response from the property owner explaining the steps that they have taken. I will add that proper steps have been taken. The asbestos removal was completed. Testing was done. Environmental reporting was completed. Pre-demolition inspection by the county. And the owner has currently been working with XL to get the meters, the gas meter moved, and some other electric meter issues. The email response from the property owner is asking for additional 30, 60 to 90 days extension for compliance on the resolution. And that's all I had on that. If you had any questions.
Beth, questions?
You say you gave a time frame of what, 30 to 90 days on it? If they're not making significant progress, can you shorten up that time?
It's at the board's discretion this time frame.
Well, if they're not making reasonable progress, I guess I'd like to tighten up their time. I think the neighborhood's fed up with that property too.
The date of the fire was end of February?
I believe February 8th, possibly, right in there.
So we're already going on 6 months.
Correct.
Steve, questions, comments?
I agree with Beth that, a short extension is fine. I'm not interested in 90 days. That'll get us to the winter time, and then there'll be another reason why they can't do anything. So as far as I'm concerned, 30 days before we do it.
And if they start right now, they can have it, substantially complete. They'll have 90 days of decent weather. Otherwise, it's, it's just pushing the problem out.
Wait for public comment.
You'll get a chance.
All right, Chad, this will still run the same process with this resolution?
Well, keep in mind, this is a little different in that the town line property we just talked about there, that involves rehabilitating the house. In this case, we're talking about requiring it be demolished, removed. That doesn't mean they can't rebuild it, okay? That's a different issue. But this only deals with demolition of the existing damaged structure. That's all it deals with.
All right.
So it's different. It's different.
Okay. Are there any other questions of the board? Or Mike? All right, I need a motion to open up for public comment.
I'll move to open the hearing up for public comment.
Second.
Motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the applicant's here. You want to come on up? Need a name and address for the record.
My name is Jeanette Miller, 5470 Peterson Road, Whiteburg Township, 55127.
Okay, well, you understand where we're coming from? As of tonight, we're going to give you 30 days to not get that building knocked down.
Well,
We do understand where you're coming from. The only reason we don't have it knocked down already is because we want someone
so that it's closed
taken
up.
us this long to follow the procedure for getting asbestos testing because, and to get rid of things. We followed the procedure of the county, of the city, and the EPA, and that's why it's taken this long to get this far.
But as of,
We turned in all that paperwork along the way, and we just got, 1 month ago.
Building permit.
the-
I mean,
no, the
demolition.
demolition permit. And
So
we've
you've
been
got your
talking to
permit.
Contractors and subcontractors about doing the work.
Because
Mike, there has been a permit issued for demolition?
The town has issued a demolition permit
Okay.
for that.
Recall the date?
June 26th,
Yeah.
And so now we're going into August. What's the holdup?
like I said.
Have you finished
lining up the rebuilding afterwards? 'Cause
Well,
there's a-
that, lining up the rebuilding, you don't really, demolishing a property can stand on its own.
I understand that, but right now it's all boarded up and locked up. It's safe. We've removed all the toxic.
But it's still an eyesore for your neighbors, and I think that's the big issue.
and we're also keeping the foundation. We're not going to take all the foundation
And
out.
that can be inspected. That's certainly.
So,
I mean, I've asked Mike to take a look at it, but whoever we need to have inspect it. We've had a couple of restoration companies in there and stuff.
but so if you've got or you've got the permit to knock it down.
Yep.
And you're gonna save the foundation,
Correct.
you can start tomorrow.
I agree, but one company we're thinking about using for part of it doesn't want to work behind us if we tear it down. They want to do that portion of it, so we're working that out.
Well, we understand the board's position to give you another 90 days. That's gonna put you into the winter.
No, I understand. We want to be dried in before winter. I mean,
And we
want
will
our
be.
house back. We're not trying to drag our
But
feet.
we get continual complaints from your neighbors, which is why we're
Well,
putting
I've talked
pressure
to all
on
my
you.
neighbors, but I'm not sure who's.
Well, they're not going to necessarily say it to your face. I can tell you that's human nature. Behind the scenes, people are not happy.
Okay, well,
So,
like I said, I've talked to our immediate neighbors anyway, and they've been really decent, understanding. They certainly haven't been. No.
we want to see some positive steps to demolition. And
Well,
That's
we
where I'm
have
at.
been doing that.
Well,
I mean,
it's still
like I
standing.
said, I understand that.
It's been since February, so.
Yep.
And you really could split the work. It's not an issue, I've been
a
in
choice.
construction for years. It's
Yep.
not an issue.
It's a choice.
What do you mean?
You can do the demolition,
Yeah.
and then you can have them rebuild. Just
No,
so you
I
know.
understand that, and that's
Yeah.
what I'd like to do. It's the only thing that's held me back from that so far. Like I said, the one company that we had kind of lined up to rebuild behind us wants to do the demolition. They don't want to rebuild behind us, so that leaves us looking at other people, and we've been interviewing other people.
And they all have
It'll be
time
faster.
frame. They all have time frames when they want to do the work, but the problem is we have time frames too.
Yep.
Right.
I
We
certainly
understand it.
understand that.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you. All right, is there anyone else would wish to speak to this piece of property? Full disclosure, I live on that road, so,
You're familiar with it.
yes.
Living the dream.
All right, hearing no one else, I need a motion to close the public comment portion.
I'll move to close the public comment portion of the hearing.
Second.
All fair say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, what is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to pass a resolution ordering the abatement and nuisance condition at 5470, filling in the resolution with do we have to put in the extension for 30 days? I mean, it says the owner of the property located shall commence corrective action within.
Well, that's what Mike had said, it's up to our discretion.
Okay, well,
I mean, you do have to give a date by which
Right,
it has
but-
to commence and a
right.
date by which it has to be completed.
so
What do you feel comfortable with?
30 days.
All right, so we'll read 30 days.
Need the number of the resolution, 2647,
Sure. So amended.
and I'll second.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes.
you got to keep in mind that paragraph 5 of the resolution states, shall commence corrective action within. Are you saying 30 days? It doesn't say completed in 30 days, it says commence within 30 days.
That's correct.
Okay,
Gotta
so
get
you're
started.
fine with that, Okay.
Well, I'll give him 30 days to get his things, all his ducks in a row, but that's the end of the
That's the
line.
end of the line. Okay.
All right, motion's made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That motion carries. All right, folks, let's see, item 8A, we already
Removed.
covered under consent. We have no added agenda items. Item 10 is open time. Anybody want to speak to something we didn't cover tonight? Come on up. Name and address.
Mary Fahey, 5301 AD Circle, Township.
Julia Lehman, next door neighbor, 53.
You better speak up.
Julia Lehman, next door neighbor, 5305.
Jill?
Julia.
Julia, thank you.
And once again, I just want to start out by thanking Beth for fielding all of my many emails over the last several months. And, you know, we are now at a point where you guys, back in December, passed the resolutions and like the ones you passed tonight for those other properties. The court just today posted their final order on the property at 2537 Second Street. So we don't need to discuss what has come before. I have my frustrations about that, but we won't need to discuss that. But what I do want, though, the court, you've all seen the court order?
I just heard about it today.
Okay. So the court has had the attorneys for Clifton Properties and for the township work together to determine a path forward. And apparently Clifton Properties finds value in the property. They paid the back taxes. They want to rehabilitate the house as opposed to having it demolished. But they've set a timeline. And there are 4 dates for that. The first one happens in 2 days. That they need to submit rehabilitation plans, presumably to the building inspector for zoning. So, yes?
That's correct.
That's correct. So, and then August 17th, if they have submitted plans that address what was in resolution 2529 to your satisfaction, then the township is to issue permits. October 19th is when a progress report has to get filed with the court, and they have until November 30th to get a certificate of occupancy, which kind of makes me nervous because y'all are saying, oh, that's into the winter. And it is. They can apply for extra time if they're making good progress. Great. So my question is that I want to know who is going to be tracking Clifton Properties' progress through this timeline and documenting it such that if deadlines are missed, if they are not complying with this, what is written in the order, that we have documentation that at some point, if need be, we can take back to the court and say, they're not doing what they agreed to do. That's my question now, is to say, who's in charge of keeping a file on what happens on August 5th? What happens on August 17th? How do we track whether they're making good progress or not making progress at all? And, you know, at what point in that process would the township think we can return to court? They're not doing what they have agreed on with respect to this order. So those are my main questions here, because as you know, this property has been in violation of ordinances before Clifton Properties even owned it. It was determined to be abandoned before Clifton Properties purchased it in December of 2020. They have been not responsive to inspections and a lot of other saber rattling. You know, we've determined this is a dangerous property and so forth. They haven't shown up until July 10th. That's when we first heard from their attorneys. That's
right.
And that's the first anyone in this process has heard from them. So I have, like to be optimistic, but I have my doubts as to whether or not they're going to follow through as they have So,
Chad, how much teeth does this have?
Well, it has a lot of teeth, but let's keep this in mind. Okay, let's talk about what you just brought up. Good point, points I've already thought about, okay? If they don't file their plans by the 7th, knowing how judges think, I would wait until almost the 17th. If they haven't filed their plans by then, I would schedule another motion hearing to order compliance. I will tell you what's more than likely going to happen is the court's going to say, going to require their attorney to explain why they haven't complied, probably give them a bit of a chewing out, but they will give them probably some additional time to comply. By that, that's the first step, the plans. And they will then have a new date to submit plans, in which case we'll have a new date to review them as well. If they fail to supply that, I think at that point in time, I would be pushing harder to tell the court, look at, they've now ignored 2 deadlines. They haven't even started yet. It is time. They are not taking this seriously. It's time for them. It's time to give us an order to tear the property down. But you have to keep in mind that under the existing case law, the property owner has property rights which the court has to protect. And they will, and it wouldn't surprise me if the court maybe give them another extension. Okay. I'm just speculating, but based on experience, I think that's probably what would happen. Eventually, the court's going to get frustrated, tired of them too. But the court is going to realize that the court's going to look at the fact that, hey, they do have property rights. Those property rights have to be protected. And so the court's going to go a little overboard, what you consider overboard, in protecting those rights. The court would consider them to be reasonable. I'll give an example. The Stillwater Avenue file. You might remember that property. That was actually initially they did hire attorneys. The attorneys never filed anything, so it was a default. The court, we got the order, the initial order, on October 15th. Now that initial order granted them the right gave them time to rehabilitate the property. And initially, the court gave them until March 1st, if I remember correctly, to rehabilitate the property. They didn't do a thing. So he went in and applied for the final order to demolish the property, and the court, if I remember correctly, gave them another 30 days to comply. They still didn't comply. After that, we finally got the order to demolish the house. So, and I remember correctly, Mike, that house didn't come down until about April 15th or so. That sound right?
Not sure on the date.
Okay, that's good. I'm going from my memory. So you see, it's almost a 6-month process from the date we actually got a court order, initial court order. So don't be surprised if the same thing happens again.
So again, my question, how are we going to document this so that we have like a really disciplined process to deliver to the court should we need to?
To answer that question, I hate to put Mike on the spot, but basically what's going to happen is this. We will set that, if the deadline comes and passes, I will ask Mike, and Mike will tell me if they've done it or not. I will give them, as I indicated, probably give them another 10 days because I understand how the courts work. We will then file a motion to compel them to comply. All right? Understand that hearing is scheduled based on the court's timing, which probably would be a month. Again, I would to apply for that motion to compel. I would need an affidavit from Mike saying no, they haven't done anything.
Right,
So,
and so if they blow
That's,
past,
so to answer your question, that's how we're going to do it. We're simply going to have to keep a record. I'll have calendared all this, and if it doesn't have, I'll give Mike a call on the 7th and find out if they filed it. If they haven't filed it, I'll calendar it out 10 days, and if they haven't filed it again, I'll get an affidavit from Mike saying they haven't done it. Schedule a motion.
well, and again, the first deadline is the 5th, not the 7th.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah.
That's a minor point. But if they don't do what they're supposed to do on the 5th, they can't do what they're supposed to do on the 17th because they have to get permits pulled for things that show that they're in compliance with the things that you identified in Resolution 25.
Actually, the 17th is the date by which we have to issue the permit.
Correct. So you have to determine whether or not their plans
Exactly,
keep them in compliance with the township's resolution that they passed last year.
exactly. I mean, I guess what I'm saying is this could become a drawn-out affair to an extent. I will say this, that the judge involved here is an experienced judge, and he's reasonable, but he's no nonsense at the same time. He's not going to wait forever.
Chad, does the court hold any weight in say if the neighbors drop a petition?
Nope. No. I mean, understand, I'm not, the petition, in fact, actually, the only case law I can think of that involves neighbor petitions involving zoning, the court explicitly states that the neighbors' opinions on things do not by themselves constitute a basis for an order, right? But that doesn't mean if you send me a petition, I'll file it with the court, okay? I'm just saying that I'm not promising that the court will look at the petition and say, okay, that's what the neighbors want, that's what I'm gonna do.
Mr. Chair, to answer residents' questions, the building department will be tracking the dates from here on out till approval from the building department to occupy the building again.
And I'll be
If
tracking
it's
dates too.
So it's kind of on a track to
Oh, yeah.
come to a conclusion.
Yeah, there is a track here.
So, communication between the two of you guys is going to be super, super important.
So just to understand, as of August 5th, you communicate that this didn't happen, you wait 10 days? Is that the timeline?
Mr. Chair, I'll just add, I haven't heard anything from any contractors on this issue. Yes, it's 2 days deadline here.
Again, until you get a permit application, you can't see the inside of the building to determine if it's.
Submittal has to be complete and address all the issues prior to issuing a permit. So Chad and I haven't had to discuss that language that says the town will issue a permit by the 17th.
Just so you know, Ed, you've already inspected this.
But that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Structure. It was.
It did not get better.
No,
Didn't improve with
hasn't
age.
gotten better. The complaint for administrative search warrant was done in 2024, and apparently was approved. And in June of 2024, you drew up what eventually became this resolution that that the place was unfit for human habitation. That was the determination at the time. There were a number of things that you listed in terms of and cited, the codes that they were in violation of and things that would need to be addressed. I will be completely gobsmacked if they're able to rehabilitate that house. I know they feel the property is valuable. They paid a lot of back taxes.
That's what kind of makes me think they want to do something.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money to pony up.
One LLC? Probably not.
I'll speculate.
Well, yeah, I mean, I have to say, if I was going to do nothing with the house, I wouldn't have paid the tax. That's the only thing that kind of gives me hope.
The property itself, the house, I don't think is very valuable. But
Right.
the property
Yes.
itself, I mean, there's
Yeah.
property across the street that they have proposed building a $1 million structure on, and so I'm sure they're thinking maybe there is a lot of value in that piece of land, if not the house.
It's sad, but any house can be rehabilitated. It's just how much money you want to spend.
Well, they have a relatively short timeline, even given, some extensions by the court.
But as of now, their nose is to the grindstone now. They will be tracked, and
Um,
all we can do is hope the courts don't help along the situation.
Right. And also, as you've heard here tonight about other structures, one of the neighbors, the couple who lives directly across the street, we were just talking about the history of what had been going on before the court order came. And they walked up the driveway, threw open the garage door, pointed to the open back garage door, service door, and this, I don't know what it is. I've never seen it like a pit, like a.
Oh yeah, a mechanic's pit.
Right, and I have heard from other neighbors that
Well, I highly recommend you not going over there and throwing
Yes.
the garage doors open.
I was shocked that they did. I was like, I don't know what's gonna come running out of there. So I didn't wanna get close, but she's like, no, this is what the kids do. So I don't know what emergency powers you may have to secure this house until they do something about it.
Well,
We board this one up too.
all I'll do is this, tomorrow when I get in the office, I'll send a email to the attorney and tell them that, by the way, the house is unsecured.
Well, I think they'd have some exposure on that, right?
Yeah, but give me a second. Give me a second, Mary. I'll let the board decide how much time I should give them. I'd normally say give them 10 days to secure the property. By the way, I've actually seen the property myself. I went out before the hearing and looked at it, so I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them 10 days to secure the property. If they don't secure the property within 10 days, I'll tell them, if you don't do it, we're going to do it, and there'll be a summary abatement. With that, now I understand, I don't do this on my own. I have to have board approval of that.
That's all my questions. I just was looking for the documentation and to understand what happened if it's.
Yeah. Mike and I will communicate with each other. We both have calendars on this property, and we'll stay on top of it.
Very good. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I understand your frustrations. It's the same thing with us.
Right.
But it's just a lot closer to home.
So are we going to give Chad authority to send?
Chad, do you need direction?
Well, you really should give me
right.
at least adopt a motion directing me to send a letter to the attorney requiring that they secure.
How's that
the
motion,
house within
Steve?
10 days.
That sounds good. The address, just make sure I have, is it 2530, no, what's the address?
50,
2537 Second Street, with a notice of 10 days to secure the property. That'd be my motion.
I'll second that.
All right, motion made, second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, still open time. Anyone else? Come on up.
Come on, Sue.
It's Sue Nelson again at 5506 Daisy Court. And I just wanted, I'm not sure what the protocol is on this. At 1353 Jonquil, there is a huge tree and it's obstructing the corner of Jonquil and Fisher. And two times now, I have pictures actually, and two times now that I've been walking my dogs on the north side of Jonquil to go around the corner, I've almost been hit by a car coming around.
Excuse me, real quickly, Sue. That's that corner there. That's Jonquil Lane, Jonquil.
Jonquil Lane and Fisher.
Yeah, so it's that corner right there.
Yeah.
Gallatin property.
So twice now I've almost been hit by a car because they're coming around the corner from Fisher and their vision has been obstructed. And it would be likewise going from Jonquil to Fisher. Whoops, Jonquil to Fisher. But I do have a picture of it.
I think it's on their property. It's a huge pine tree, correct?
No,
It's that, I know what it is, their ash tree, or it's all branchy things there.
that is the tree.
Emerald ash borer, gotta come down. Oh my
It
God.
needs to
Sounds
be
like it
trimmed
already
up
did.
so that there's vision.
Well, it is encroaching in the right of way.
Yeah, it is.
I tell you what I'll do is I'll have Public Works go out and look at it tomorrow.
Yeah, see if they're, yeah. I know you're a regular walker.
I am a regular walker. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Hearing none. We're going to have the room cleared. We need to go into closed session
Correct.
with our attorney, which means we got to say goodbye to everybody.
Just so you know, the reason we're going to closed session is to discuss the sale of property owned by the township and a legal issue that's already been raised, not the fire contract.
Good night.
Good night.
session where we discussed the sale of township property and ongoing issue on Anderson Lane.
And the township property being discussed was,
On Hoffman Road or at Stable Properties?
Portland Avenue.
Portland Avenue Properties, excuse me.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, you just need to recap, Chad?
I think,
The motion speaks for itself.
yes.
All right,
Good one, Ed.
item 12, I need a motion to receive agenda materials.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn at 8:35.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Told you it'd be a long one.
I was hopeful.
No, no.
Kept trying to shove everything on